Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ Marino and we are breaking down a new movie review. Yes, we are talking about Jordan Peele's Nope. With just 3 movies under his directorial belt, I am a big Jordan Peele fan. There has been things in each and every film that have really surprised me, that have really intrigued me, and Nope is no different. While I don't think this is as serious or as thought-provoking as things like Get Out or Us, this is the most fun I've had with one of Peele's movies. This was over the top, outlandish, but also really grounded in so many ways. It really tried to tell a compelling story with very out-of-world elements and still make it feel tangible. This feels like something that could really happen, which really made this believable, which really helped sell the whole thing. I like this issue I had with Us. I thought Us was a really good film, but it's almost so unrealistic. You start kind of poking holes in it. With something like an alien spaceship, you start being able to go, I can distance myself, but the movie does a really good job selling itself. I had a blast with this. It's a bit messier. Yeah, there is things that I don't love about the characters in this as opposed to things like Get Out and Us. It's hard because those two movies really surprised me. They're good characters, good story, good motivation for this. This movie lacks a little bit of the motivation, a little bit of the story elements, and a little bit of the character, but it makes up for it with atmosphere, with a lot of the filmmaking choices, like the cinematography, sound design, and score are out of this world. Holy hell, the sound design alone, if I'm going to do like an early awards ballot for best sound in a film, this is top contender at the moment. The sound is the film. It reminds me so much of Jaws in that way, where the sound design of I always think of the scene where he's under the water in the cage, and you hear the sting of the music and the sound design of the shark when he bumps into the cage. That is what this movie is kind of throughout. When you feel that spaceship coming, you feel it in your seats, you hear it. It is such a good feeling. I love the technical aspects of this. Again, I usually like the script and the story and the characters of a Jordan Peele movie. That lacks a little bit here. Nothing to do with the actors like Daniel Kaluuya, Steven Yeun, Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer eats this movie up. All of them do a fine job with the material given. They just don't have as much meaty material to bite into as other Peele films, but I can't really think of many other disses for this film. I have a lot more praise than negatives for this, and I was really happy that I'm continuing loving Jordan Peele's films, now 3 in a row. It's hard to do with many filmmakers. Zack Snyder is one of my favorite filmmakers. I barely like the early ones as much as I do the early Peele stuff. I mean, Greta Gerwig, Sofia Coppola, so many of the directors I love. There's a couple that I like here or there, and they're okay, but I don't love their full filmography. With 3 under his belt, Peele is showing he is one of the best modern filmmakers. In Nope, we follow Emerald and OJ, played by Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya, who own a ranch. Basically, they work in the film industry. They have for years, because their great-great-great-grandfather was part of the film industry. So yeah, this is just something that they do. They raise horses to put into films, like Animal Wranglers and things like that. And they're on their little farm, and things start getting a bit weird when, I don't even know how to say this without really getting to spoilers. Basically, when an alien spaceship shows up to their farm, they have to figure out what the hell to do. What they think they need to do is get proof of this to make a little money and to make a name for themselves. So they set out to capture footage of this alien, and that leads them on a dangerous adventure, a wild adventure, a pretty fun to watch adventure. I loved the very basic premise of this, like 2 siblings trying to make life work, trying to conquer an alien, but they're not trying to defeat it in the way of you think like James Cameron's Aliens, or I don't know. It kind of reminds me a little bit more of Close Encounters, where the aliens, they're just trying to make contact. They're just trying to get proof more than they're trying to defeat the big bad alien. I thought that was really good. By the end, they definitely feel like they need to maybe take care of this before it hurts more people or hurts them, but it's just, for the most of it, they really are just trying to gather footage, and I thought that was really good. There's a really good pop culture film aspect to it, a lot of pop culture references. I mean, Steven Yeun's character goes on a rant about maybe 1999 1999, 2000s SNL with like Chris Kattan, and I was just like, yo, I haven't thought about Chris Kattan in a minute. Thank you. Yeah, this movie is filled with pop culture references because it is a Hollywood vibe. It's also filled with a lot of just weird sci-fi things. This is definitely Peele watching a lot of sci-fi movies in a row and going, let me try my own. I'm really happy to feel the X-Files vibes. Usually he goes for Twilight Zone. This is way more X-Files, and it really works for it. Aliens is something that I'm not personally a big fan of. Like, horror sci-fi is not my thing. I just like straight up horror movies, or I like really weird, pretentious sci-fi. So I need to find a balance, and this is very not pretentious. It's, again, a very fun movie with Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya just like bouncing off each other. They also have another character in the movie named Angel, who is like a tech dude who has them set up all their cameras. He's another scene stealer, another great character. But I will say the characters that are there, they're really good with talking to each other. Maybe I don't love their motivations or really what they're going to do, but Peele writes people speaking to each other better than most directors. I love the camaraderie. I love the back and forth of our characters. Again, maybe wanted more motivation, but with what was presented, I don't have many complaints. I know so many people are like, this is not as good as Get Out or Us, and I'm like, sure, it's not, but this is still a pretty damn good movie. It just shows that Peele, even in a weaker moment, is still better than most of the people out here. The aliens, who knows? There's nothing I really want to spoil in this video, but that's going to be a big talking point of this film, and I really like it. I will say, without giving too much away, it's a very different type of alien. It's a very organic, it's a very, I don't know, I kept going, wow, I've never really seen aliens quite like this. I would love to see what he was inspired by when crafting this, if it was a real life thing, if it was another movie or TV show, because I thought the aliens were really good. I'm glad we can talk about the alien part of this movie, because I know in the marketing and the trailers, they try to hide it, minus the most recent one that they actually show the UFO at one point. Yeah, I liked it. I thought aliens was such a good route to go, and the way that it's executed here, it's really impressive. The CG for the ship is wonky, maybe not my favorite, but I think, again, the sound design of it, it really made me feel terror. Like, there was a bit of a Jaws element where you would hear a very signature sound for it. Maybe it's people screaming, maybe it's like a kind of vibe. When you hear it, you would go, oh God, what are we about to do? And then, like, you know, electricity and power would go out. They would sell you on the moment. You would just see a little bit of the ship, you would hear the sound, and you would go, oh my God, we're about to get into it. That is what really works here. I've seen a couple people online compare this to Jaws, and there's a very big Jaws vibe to it, which is my all-time favorite film. So again, I'll take the good, I'll take the bad. It's just the facts of this movie. Like, it just works with what it needs to do. The aliens are good, the characters are fun, the sound design, just, I'm amazed by the sound, the auditorial assault that this film gave me. I needed that, and I was so happy it delivered on things I didn't know it was going to deliver on, but it worked there. I could go on in this review praising Jordan Peele, praising this movie, but overall, it is a very fun outing from Jordan Peele. It's a very fun movie. It's one of the more interesting summer blockbusters I've seen. I've seen the big Marvel movies and the big IPs like a Jurassic World, but nothing has really hit me like Nope did. This is going to be one of my favorite films of the year. When I go through, maybe not a top 2 kind of entry, because Batman and Everything Everywhere has been pretty great in fighting for those top 2 spots, and they don't seem to be getting beat by anyone. But this is going to be one of my ones I go back with throughout the year and maybe watch it multiple times. Can't wait for award season to see if they send out some like for your consideration for this, because that could be fun. Send me a little plushie of an alien. I would love that. Alright guys, that is it for my review of Nope. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Subscribe to Flickering Myth because we make videos like this every single week, and give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Alright everyone, let's talk about Nope and Jordan Peele movies down below.